Got something special on the way for you, and you probably know this by this point. It's the stats review by Sundaram, who is also known as F1 Stats Guru. Let's go right into this, and there's a bit of a surprising one coming up, so listen in and enjoy.
All right, it's time to do the stats review of that Italian Grand Prix. A very, very chaotic, crazy, and controversial race. I'm sure people are going to be talking about this Grand Prix for the weeks and years to come, just because of how the championship battle is boiling over at this point of time. So these sort of races usually just tend to bring out a lot of stats, and I have a bunch of those. And here are a few for this particular race. So let's jump straight into it. Let's talk about the man of the moment, the driver of the day, Daniel Ricciardo. He takes his first race win since Monaco 2018. That's 3 years ago. Now, if you remember, Monaco 2018 was a race of redemption because he unfortunately lost that particular race a couple of years ago. That was a race of redemption, and today also seems like a race of redemption because he's had a couple of difficult years with Renault and starting off this season as well. And the man is finally the guy is finally back once again on the podium. This was his eighth race win, and each of those race wins in Formula One have come at different Grand Prix at different circuits, which is very, very interesting. And McLaren have taken their first race win since 2012. This was their first double podium since Australia 2014, and their first race 1-2 since 2010 Canada. They're also the first team this year to take a race 1-2. Mercedes did a bunch of those in 2020, but unfortunately they could not do that this year. And McLaren are the first team to finally, start the score this year, and they are the first team to do so, which is great. I think seeing a team like McLaren once again on the top step of the podium, it's very, very heartwarming, knowing how iconic and historic this particular team is. And I'm just hoping that we see a lot of McLaren on the podium for the rest of the season and beyond. All right, so we have to talk about the podium today was also very interesting. We had three Mercedes powered cars, and the last time that happened, where a Mercedes or an engine supplier completely took a clean sweep off the podium, was back in 2015 at the Mexican Grand Prix, which is again a Mercedes powered podium. Lewis Hamilton, he suffered a race retirement for the first time since the 2018 Austrian Grand Prix, which is 63 races ago. And the one before that was that Malaysian Grand Prix back in 2016. So over the course of 5 years, he's had just two race retirements, which is great. Speaks a lot about Hamilton's consistency and how regular he's been in the point. Red Bulls, Red Bulls, three of the four Red Bulls today did not score points. Yuki Tsunoda did not start the race. Pierre Gasly had an early retirement. And as you all know, Max Verstappen also had to retire from the race because of that little collision with Lewis Hamilton towards somewhere in the middle of the race. And lastly, Fernando Alonso, he finally scored points at the Italian Grand Prix because the last time he scored points at this particular venue was back in 2013. First time he scored points at Monza in the hybrid era. So those were the stats for the Italian Grand Prix. These are just a bunch of them. There's going to be a lot more in the stats rundown article, which is going to go up on the website in a couple of days. So do watch out for that, and I'll catch you guys at the Russian Grand Prix.
I had to pinch myself for a second again there. I didn't realize that no team has taken a 1-2 this year. Magic of the F1 Stats Guru, folks. Follow him on all his social handles down below. This is a little bit crazy, all the things that we're getting right here, all the stats from Sundaram. But let's